Hi, Donny. I'm so happy that we got together to do this video. We are going to talk about Venus in the signs. And I want to really thank you for inspiring me to come back live and discuss astrology because you know so much and I love your knowledge and I love talking to you. How are you?
I'm good. I think Venus in the signs will be very interesting for a lot of people. Um, Knowing how they actually give and take affect, well, how they show affection and how they receive affection. It'd be very
And
useful for people.
it's always a great topic to talk about. Love is never a
Um,
boring topic.
well, and we've after this Mercury retrograde, we do have a Venus retrograde coming. So yeah. Well, it's in Gemini, so like looking for the lost twin. So
Looking for the lost twin or losing the twin.
well, it's going to square Mars and Neptune though in Pisces while it's retrograding. So well, I'm actually expecting people to ask, "Where's my soulmate? Where's my soulmate?" and just "Where's my soulmate?" Keep repeating it. So
Yeah, it's probably what's going to happen. And they will be talking about it a lot because it's in Gemini and they like communicating their love.
well, and Gemini, Venus in Gemini, I'm sure more people will be surfing Tinder.
Oh, yeah, you're right. A lot of people will also end up after the retrograde period, they'll end up on Tinder.
Well, maybe they saw someone on Tinder and they say like, "Oh, okay, I want to meet up with you." And after the Venus retrograde, nah, I changed my mind.
Yeah, possibly, possibly. But it's going to be fun. I mean, Gemini is such a fun sign, so
Very
definitely.
light-hearted. Yeah, you can't take Gemini seriously. Most of the time. I'm Gemini, I should know that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so how about we start with Venus in the different elements, like general feeling of the different elements, and then we can start by talking about Venus in the different signs.
Sure. Let's. I think I should start with Venus in fire signs.
Okay.
Um, when I think about the fire element, it's an upward moving energy. And to me, fire element is the closest element that's beyond time and space. So when I think about fire element, especially Venus, in the fire element, sorry, there's almost like a very high ideal, um, very philosophical, and it's very energetic. So Venus needs to express itself through the fire element in very grand and very direct manner. And at times it can be kind of exaggerated as well. Like, like it's almost like fire is more is more. And so if you want to show me love or I show you love, it has to be displayed in a very grand way. And it's also about aspirations and inspiration. So someone has to somehow fit that ideal um, of a lover to the other person in order to bond with a fire element Venus. What's your take on it?
Yeah, there's definitely the wow element in the fiery Venus people, and they're so passionate and they're so competitive as well. Super hot, I think.
Yeah, I think particularly for Aries, they're super competitive. But having said that, let me think about the other two signs, Leo and Sag. Yeah, I think Aries will be the most competitive of the three.
Yeah, I think the Sagittarian Venuses are more like having fun and exploring, and Venus in Leo is more of a look at me type of thing. fight for me.
And also one more thing though, because fire needs air to burn,
Okay.
it also tells me that if it's not handled properly, Venus in a fire signs can also be somehow like um, there's almost like an energy vampire kind of vibe that they bring into relationships. Like they almost like latch onto something to kind of um, be it to better define their self-image and self-worth, or to um, there's a clinginess, but not like the water elements. It's just like, I need more and more relationships in terms of experience to actually know who I am.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. And do you think that fire Venus goes well with air Venus, or do you think it becomes just an unstoppable fire and they they burn out basically?
Well, I mean, fire needs air to burn,
Yeah.
but air doesn't need fire to move around.
Okay. Yes.
So I would think that if you put an air Venus and a fire Venus, I think like sooner or later the air Venus will get sick and tired of having to feed their energy into like, like, oh, give me more flattery. Praise me more. I want to know how good I am. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, air, air Venus will kind of like after a while, nah, never mind. They just move on.
Yeah. Speaking of boredom, I think separately both types of Venus, Venus in fire signs and Venus in air signs, are easily bored. They get tired of the same thing, even if it's exciting or active and changing, they get bored.
Do you want
So
to
it's
elaborate
hard.
something about the air sign since we are onto air?
Yeah, sure. Air signs are all about communication. Air signs are all about um, socializing, exchanging ideas, thinking it through. They're not so turned on by emotions or like following some certain path in life. They get excited when there is a good idea, when they get excited when they can talk on different topics and with different people. They can exchange ideas. They have very they're very open to different thoughts, and they're very open to different people.
Well,
They,
they flirt a lot. That's all I know. Yeah.
yes, and they know how to use their words. They know what to say, when to say it. They know which words to use for each person so that they can make them interested. So they're very interesting. They're very funny as well, I think, as well as the Fire Venus. I think Fire Venus also has a lot of humor and a lot of fun into the way they flirt. But especially Gemini from the air signs and Sagittarius from the fire signs. There, I think they're the funniest. People can have a lot of fun going out with somebody with that kind of Venus.
Well, I would think that the party will light up, like when you have both Venus signs, people just walking around and hello, you know what I mean? Like just like, hey, like just kind of walking into the club and just like they know everyone within 5 minutes.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, Air Venus is all about communication. Air Venus is all about thinking and talking and being social, but not very close to people. They can talk to anybody, but they don't like to be too close, or they don't like people who stop them from doing things and stop them from talking, or tell them what to do. So one way to lose an air Venus is to just try to control them, and or tell them how to think or what to do.
I was actually thinking, right, like air sign Venus, um, the word the word companionship comes into my mind. Like that's ultimately what they want to look for, is like, can I have someone to be with me, like having verbal banters, and
Yeah,
also because Venus is also about approval.
yeah.
So the worst thing you can do to an air sign Venus is to say that your idea sucks.
Yeah, just
You
you're
know?
just trying to destroy them, or your relationship with them anyway.
Well, and also like air sign Venus, because it's like a horizontal outward energy. Like so it is connective, you know.
Yeah.
Um it's very light and playful. And you have to kind of go with it. When you go with an air sign Venus, don't go into the like get very somber and very serious, that'll really turn them off. And one more thing, because like air sign, because it rules with the mind a lot, the senses. And I find that air sign Venus, um, they actually like to categorize relationships.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, especially for the Gemini Venus.
I would think Aquarius as well. They are in their head a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Libra,
Mm, Libra
Libra,
is a little bit different
yeah.
to the
Uh,
other one.
I found Libra is a bit more stable in a sense, because like Libra, that's where like Saturn is exalted, so it kind of it kind of makes the ground more stable to be with a Venus and Libra.
Yeah, plus
Um,
Venus is in her own sign there. So,
yeah, and because of that Saturn in exaltation in that sign of Libra, they take things more seriously, more personal.
yeah, I agree. Even though they can be very, um, what is it called? They easily fall in love with people, with different people.
Well, they are very like they're very like visual people. So when they look at people, it's like, um, I mean, don't get me wrong, even though Saturn is exalted in Libra, I find that those with Venus in Libra, they do believe in love at first sight, just like Aries.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like things just move fast, but Libra just kind of um, take things much slower. Like it takes quite some time for them to make up their mind regarding someone, because it's almost like if if I'm gonna be with you, it's gonna be for a long time to come.
Yeah, and they're measuring the options on the scale.
Yeah,
Is
and
it
I
good?
think that,
Is it bad? Is it balanced?
and I think that's why there's like Venus and Libra can be more conservative than the other air sign.
I remember once we were talking about someone who had um, a lot of planets in Libra, including his Venus. And I remember that you said maybe he can be in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship rather than because of the person. But that's probably something that um, that has to do with the personal chart. Not all Venus in Libra people are like,
Um,
but they can be.
well, because air signs, it's like go back to the mental plane. So it's like being in love with love, the
Yeah,
idea of love,
idea of love. Yeah,
the idea of love and the ideal of love, like they have a very like intellectual approach in terms of like what relationships they want and they will have. So yeah, there's a detachment with that, and the partner, if it's more clingy, I don't think it will work with air. Yeah.
No, definitely not. And when you think about it, uh, the love, the celebration of love is in the middle of Aquarian season, which is totally crazy.
Well, it's just a commercial holiday. Like, I shall leave it as that.
But
Um,
yeah, they're fun to be around.
yeah. So let me talk about, do I have anything else about air signs? Oh yes, always have a sense of um, intellectual stimulation that will keep an air sign, Venus,
Yeah,
engaged. And
definitely.
like mental pursuits, like do
Hmm.
like a, I don't know, Scrabble.
Or talk about Alien.
Could be, especially Aquarius. I believe that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all. Venus in Earth signs. Okay, now we're getting into heavier territory. Um, Venus and Earth sign. I think the way they express love and affection, and also receive love and affection in a very the first few words that come to my mind are dependable and reliable.
Yeah.
And it's got to be grounded more on the physical, sensual plane, because Venus rules one of the air signs, which is Taurus. Um,
Earth signs.
yeah, and there's the practicality that Earth signs bring into relationships, materialism as well that comes along with it. Um, Not really upfront in terms of expressing their emotions. It takes a while.
It takes
Earth
a while.
signs
There's
like,
like,
yeah, Earth signs like to take their time, maybe sometimes too long. But then when they actually come to the point whereby, okay, I'm committed to you, you can expect like a loyalty from them.
absolutely.
Yeah. Because Venus and Earth sign is about building a life structure together. So that kind of is the background influence why they behave the way they do.
Yeah, and they have to have a plan and they have to follow it. And they don't like change that much.
Also, I feel that just like the air signs, right? Venus in the earth signs, they also tend to categorize relationships that come to them,
Yeah, I
but
agree.
not so much of like in air signs, like, oh, what fun am I going to have, with this person today? It's, or who am I going to meet, like with this person going out together. It's more of like, um, can I improve my life? Can I actually gain something tangible from this person? Not to say all earth signs are um, gold diggers.
Yeah, Virgo is probably not a gold digger, definitely.
But it's almost like, hey, if I want to invest my time and resources with this person, I need to think it through. It's almost there's this kind of wing of how much resource I want to dump into this relationship, and then you make the decision, okay, yes or no.
Yeah. And they get very very slowly into a relationship. They have, I think they have trust issues to some extent because they're not sure whether they can rely on the stability of the other part. So they're slowly going into a relationship and then even testing the grounds.
Mm, yeah, and I also feel that as a side note, right? Um, Venus and Earth elements can mean that there can be a possibility of taking advantage of the other person as well, but in a more like material sense, like what does he have to offer me tangibly? And also like there's a sense of control over the other person. There's kind of like
Yeah,
a possessiveness of sorts. Yeah.
especially with Taurus, I think.
I find Capricorn as well.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
Capricorn actually kind of, it actually comes to me as a like a sugar daddy and baby kind of relationship. Kind
Maybe
of.
here's the time. Maybe here's the time to mention that we're talking about just in general how
Yeah.
the Venus can express different shades of different range of
The good, the
emotions and
bad, and the ugly.
yeah. And when you have a Venus in a certain sign, and we say, well, this can be something tricky uh, about that kind of Venus, don't get offended. It's like you have to look into your personal chart and you have to take everything in consideration. One point of the chart doesn't make you anything. So it's just general information. It is going to be true. It is going to be true for you to some extent, or to most extent even. Um, and also that every sign has different vibration. You can be in the lower vibrations of a sign, or you can go up high and express the better parts of each sign. So don't get offended.
Well, I think like Venus in a certain sign can be like a lens in which how your Venus comes out from you. But then like you gotta look at the aspects as well. It can have a secondary color to it. You know, all of us are so multi-dimensional. Like you can't just have like one color just for your Venus. No, it's like this kind of. I know my Venus has got a lot of aspects in my chart, so my people usually can't guess my Venus sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Even though if people are looking at us now, they can probably easily guess what's my Venus sign and where's yours.
just
Because
put in
you're
the comments below.
yes, yes, that's a good idea.
What's mine and Radi's Venus sign? Let's see if you guys can guess it correctly. Um, let's just go back to that Venus in Earth sign. The other word that comes to my mind is like um, they have a sense of insecurity that goes along with it. Hence, they make up for that within relationships to look for that sense of structure and security as well. So that ties in with the control factor and possibly taking advantage of the other person as well. Yeah. Or you're being taken advantage of depending
On
yeah. Because Venus can go both ways. And maybe I should add one more thing that we are now in 2020. So you know the old saying, men are from Mars, women
yeah,
are from Venus. And um, looking at so many clients like that I've seen, you know, from time to time, year by year, I've seen men owning their Venus more and women owning their Mars more. So when we talk about later on Venus in the signs, you might pick up like statements. Women might behave like this if you have Venus in this sign. But if you as a guy can identify with it, which means that you're owning more of your Venus as well.
yeah.
Yeah, just want to make that clear. How about Venus in the water signs?
Ooh, we're getting well. That's the most. No, I wouldn't say the most sensual ones. They're the most sensitive ones, probably, because it's all about feelings there. It's all about emotions. It's all about going deep, not even being able to express why you feel like that. You just feel, and you get touched by, I don't know, poetry and emotions, and if the other person is um, attention, probably is something that they really really need, care and attention, and they can be very clingy. They are, I think they're very loyal, most of them anyway. um, and it's hard for them to let go of a certain emotion, and it's hard for them to let go of a certain relationship, even if it has finished long time ago. They keep thinking about it, they keep being emotional about it, and I think they always have love for the person that they have been with, even if ages have passed. They're very very attached and dependable as well, I would say. They can be very, and they can control through emotions.
When I think about water element, right, it's just like a straight down kind of energy. It
Sucking
really
the energy out of you.
like it goes like downwards, just down deep,
Yeah.
and down into the wells. And um a lot of things that water sign Venus do is by really unconsciously sensing certain things.
Yeah. They're
And
very intuitive.
there's this kind of like the urge to merge. It's almost like it's different from the other elements in terms of like it actually kind of destroys all the barriers that keep you and me separate.
Yes. I think I love that about Venus in the water signs, that it's so, I mean, it can be scary, definitely can be scary for the other person, especially if they don't have a water Venus. They might feel like they've been swallowed up. But there's a lot of love in them, I think.
One thing I do find that because water sign can be hypersensitive,
Yeah.
and there's almost like a psychic sensing thing. Like you don't have to even talk with them. You can actually like telepathically kind of like connect with them on a different level, on such a deep level. But then because like water signs can be very prone to psychic negativity.
Yes, they're very open to everything.
Yeah, and also like the hypersensitivity I just mentioned. So they do care about people, but then sometimes you wonder with water signs, is it they care about me because they're trying to protect themselves?
Okay, yeah.
Or
That's a
are they
point of
trying
view.
to take care of you so that they can avoid hurt?
That's that these two doesn't they don't sound um different. I mean, I think one can go together with the other. There,
Yeah, which
one
which
doesn't
kind of
exclude
sometimes make me question like water sign Venus, their motives.
the other.
You know,
Yeah.
um, is it because they truly care about me, or is it just kind of their shell that they're trying to like preserve? Or they use that kind of caring function to kind of later on keep you hostage.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Keeping you hostage is one thing that they can do perfectly well.
But then I think that further, I go back one more step. Where does that come from? Because of what we discussed just now about being open psychically, there can be a lot of irrational fears
Yeah,
and like imaginings that may or may not be there.
absolutely. Especially for Pisces and Scorpio, I think um, Scorpios can be quite paranoid, and the Pisces can be delusional. They can be making up things. They live in their own world
But,
sometimes.
well, I mean, Venus is the lower octane of the love function and is exalted in Pisces because once you master that Venus in Pisces, my God, is going to be Neptune.
Yeah, but I think this is the hardest Venus to master because I mean the Pisces is the ocean. You cannot master the ocean.
Well, I mean, you got to go through a lot of tsunamis to get there, right? So, so I think we've kind of, covered the four elements. Let's move on to the signs.
Okay. Would you like to
Okay.
start with Venus in Aries?
Venus in Aries, hot, spicy Aries. Venus in Aries gives me the caveman and cavewoman kind of method of expressing Venus. Because, hey, men start, usually when they talk about the beginning of men, they start with the sign Aries, the very first sign. And Venus by Venus does not actually function too well in the sign of Aries, because it's a Mars root sign. Basically, Venus doesn't function too well in Mars root sign because of that opposing force of merging, and Mars just kind of want to attack and stay separate. What I find Venus in Aries is that they are really they are fiercely attached to their ideals, loved ones, and relationship achievements. And when I think about Aries, the word competition comes into mind. So if they have to fight for someone's attention, hey, bring it on, And
They like facing, don't they?
yeah, I mean, it's like Venus in Aries is kind of love is about conquest. Love is about fighting. Love is about, like not having to wait a long time. So they can really get up and start it's almost like they will please you at the beginning because they anything that's new and exciting, they'll like, Venus will be turned on by it.
How can you flirt with the Venus in Aries?
Flirting with a
Run
Venus
away?
in well, you can be aggressive, like, but not in a very twatty way. But more of like, hey, like just that's the thing, because like Venus in Aries, right? I find Venus in Aries women in general, although they are not the patient feminine archetype and they're like the go-getters, if men actually come to them being aggressive, it can go either way. They can either love that, oh, okay, he's very assertive, I like that. Or they can get pissed with the guy. It's like, hey, get away from me, like I'm getting angry.
Yeah, but she won't like it if he really goes away. She'll get even angrier.
I think because it's like it all boils down to one more thing actually. Where is Mars located? Like, where is Venus's ruler actually located? It can give you like a secondary picture. But then if we just talk about like just bang on Venus in Aries, right? They are so independent. They are so enthusiastic. If you want to suggest a first date with a Venus in Aries, right? I would say both men and women, you can actually like do some sports together. Like
Yeah, I was going to say karting or something.
or shoot paintballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you run, I hide, and just like shoot each other, and you get bruises all over. And because it's like there's such an energetic um outpour of energy with Aries that you need to kind of get the energy out. And sometimes with a Venus in Aries, if you're with one, um, sometimes you do need that argument because the makeup sex is better after that. That's how I see though. But having said that, there's like since Aries is the first like baby sign in the zodiac, what you see is what you get. There's like a simplicity with Venus in Aries. Like what they tell you is you can trust that it is actually true.
Yeah, they're very honest, very direct and impulsive.
Mm, I have even seen a Venus in Aries female friend of mine that actually start approaching guys in the bar, take charge and take initiative and ask for their numbers. That kind of scared the guy away. but but hey, but okay, if you're a Venus in Aries man, you would like your women very independent.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you would like a very nice shaped head. Yeah, I mean like a nice shaped head to go along. And not too many words. Not too many words. What do you think other qualities a Venus and Aries guy actually look for?
Hmm. The, they probably would like somebody who dresses hot, um, bright,
Out there.
out there. Yeah. Put it on the table. um, yeah, and independent leadership is something that they really respect. So independency and being the leader, or I don't know, maybe feminism is something that they like.
Yeah. It's tied with independence, right? That feminist kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Something a
And
bit like feisty.
yeah, warrior.
Warrior. Just like Xena.
Yeah.
Princess Warrior. I think I got another one which is a woman that has her own interest. Doesn't
Oh
need
yeah.
him around a lot.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, you know what? Venus in Aries men like their women a bit hard to get.
Yes. To they like to chase the woman, and they don't want to ever feel like they have figured her out fully. She always has to have something that she can surprise them with, I think. And that's probably valid for fire signs in general.
I think it's the
Even though,
caveman archetype, right?
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna get you. Like,
yeah, and instinctiveness, and also I can't help myself but think about lingerie, like very sexy lingerie that can peek out from somewhere, or even when they get together in the bedroom, there has to be some black or bright red, or maybe bright red would be better, not black that much, even though it depends.
well, as a Earth sign rising here, I think that's a waste of money because those things are gonna come off in like I don't know less than 10 seconds. Sometimes it's gonna be ripped.
Yeah, but
There's
you don't
better,
have your Venus
there's better
fiery.
ways to spend your money. um, How
Naked
about
is also good. I mean, no lingerie at all.
just like a
Natural.
baby, right, Aries? Just like a
Yeah,
baby.
it's like a caveman as well.
Um, Venus and Aries men also, I don't think they mind being approached by women
Okay. Yeah, they
because,
wouldn't wait for that. I mean, they would be straight on.
yeah, I mean, they kind of like the thrill of like, be it going after women or just sit back and just let the women come to them.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, it can go both ways, depends on the other part of the chart.
Mm. But then I think like, like for the women that are interested, the woman must exhibit courage and strength. These are the two things that come to my mind. Warrior,
Yeah.
right? Like not too many words. Hey, I do my thing, you do your thing.
Yeah. That can annoy them, by the way. That can annoy them further in the relationship because relationships, I think the way they work is you like each other's Venus energy, and then when you go deep into the relationship, other aspects join in, and then things can get nasty. And the things that you got together with your partner for, they can be actually the problem, and they can be the thing that you want to get rid of him or her.
Well, Aries rules the beginning of things, right? The first sign. So in the beginning, it's always exciting. In the beginning, it's always new and fresh. But then, like Venus, like Aries as a sign, is not known for its like longevity.
Yeah,
So it just depends how you keep the fire alive.
exactly. They can get easily bored.
Yeah. I've actually dug up like celebrities with Venus in Aries. Marilyn Monroe has Venus in Aries.
Ooh,
Jennifer Aniston has got Venus in Aries. For the men, Robert Downey Jr.
he's
of
hot.
Iron Man and Chris Martin of Coldplay. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So how about the next sign, Taurus?
Taurus, Taurus. So Aries is getting easily bored, and Taurus can get boring. I'm joking, of course, but Taurus is the total opposite of Aries, really. It's like there's not so much dynamic, but they're very sensual. They're all about sex. They're all about pleasure. They are all about everything physical. They love um, pampering all their senses and the other partner's senses as well. So if you want to take out someone who has Venus in Taurus, definitely take them out to a nice restaurant. They like expensive things, they like quality things, they like food, they like art. You can go out to an art gallery, or you can go to some, I don't know, fashion show even. Um, they have very sophisticated taste. They know what quality is. If they go in a shop and there are no prices at all on anything in the shop, they will pick the most expensive one. Just they know what is quality. So you have to give them quality because they give you quality. When they are with somebody, they invest their time, they invest effort, and for them this is super important. They like stability. They're very, I mean, this is an earth sign, so they need everything to be stable, and they can be quite possessive towards their partner, which which is not always the best thing to do in a partnership, but this is how they sometimes act. And because Taurus is a sign of money, I think in their love life, they can treat their partner like treasure even. But everything goes slowly. Everything can be a little bit kind of like the same thing over and over again. They're not fans of change. And what else? They definitely are looking for a stable relationship. When they approach somebody, they're thinking, okay, is this practical? Is this a good idea? Because when I get into a relationship, I'm thinking I'm staying there. It's not like I'll have you for a one night stand or something like that, even though they're very sexual and very sensual. I don't think they would treat anybody disrespectfully. And but you might get annoyed with the pace they use, because it's just, maybe you'll go to 10 dates before something actually happens. Depends on the food, depends if the food is good. You can get easier to their hearts. Also, they like presents. I mean, if you want to impress somebody with the Venus, with the Taurus Venus, definitely give them a present. Make sure it's not cheap. Make sure it's something. It doesn't need to be big, but it needs to be good quality. Um, all the all the earth signs anyway, they like tangible things. They like to touch the love. So what do you think? I see you want to say something.
Well, I mean, it's like, I suppose it's whether a man or a woman that has like a Venus in Taurus. Like, if I were to think about a woman with like Venus in Taurus, like on a first date, right? Sure, go to a restaurant, choose the best one. I expect you to pay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and continue to pay.
Yes.
It's
For
almost
sure.
like, yeah, like there's this kind of like, they want security, they want comfort, they want continuity, and it can become like a um I think they count on the quality of the relationship, like how how good quality or expensive the gift will be as time goes on. Whereas I find that Venus in Taurus men, right? Well, I should say both sexes actually in this case, like they both settle into very quiet routines.
Yeah.
Somehow like, hey, like, after that, don't come and bother me. Okay,
Yeah,
but
we are in a relationship, but it doesn't mean anything. I mean, I'm not changing my life because of you.
like it's almost like having a Venus and Taurus person as your partner would be like, hey, let's sit on the couch and eat ice cream and watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Kind of energy. And what I also picked up is that that there may be a reluctance to openly express their emotions as well. Not
That
not like overtly. Like they usually use like the a gift, that flower, like that present, to actually show how much they love you. But in terms of like demonstrating it, yeah, I would say probably not so like the fire signs.
Yeah, they're not loud in their actions, but they like to please you, and they like to be pleased. So I think that they can, I mean, they can please your um, ears by telling you they love you, or they can give you a perfume, or they can prepare a nice bath for you, so you can enjoy your body, and you can enjoy life, because I think there's a lot about pleasure in Venus in Taurus.
You know what would be the perfect date for Venus and Taurus? Go for like a massage together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spa, massage.
Like body works, right? To just kind of like feel
Absolutely.
like all the aches and pains, and just like, just be drowned in the relaxation.
Yeah. And I think above all For Venus in Taurus, the most important thing is comfort. They have to feel comfortable with you. If they feel intimidated, or if they feel like they're being pushed, or if they feel like they've been like talked to too much, or being asked too many questions, they wouldn't feel so comfortable and they wouldn't like it. So don't pressure them too much. Don't put pressure on them.
I've got some Venus and Taurus guy friends. Um, they like their girls actually sweet, affectionate, and it's almost like affectionate as well, of course. But then the most important thing is like their appearance in terms of their body shape. It's got to be very curvaceous.
Yes,
It's
delicious.
deliciously curvaceous. Not like a bull, of course, not like a bull. So.
No.
Venus
What else?
in Gemini.
Gemini.
Hmm. We're gonna have that retrograde, and I think a lot of people will be surfing Tinder a lot. Hopefully, not on lockdown or quarantine. Uh, Venus in Gemini. The first air sign. Very curious about everyone. Very witty, and also very disembodied. They are not very in tune with their body. They are more of like functioning on a mental plane. So it's almost like when they think of love, it stays here. And when it stays here, there's actually a chance for Venus in Gemini in the end getting very blurry about what is actually love, if you know what I mean, because everything just stays in the head, and it can lead to confusions as well with their loved ones. Like, okay, like if you tell Venus and Gemini, I love you, and you're like, okay,
Thank you.
like okay, like there's this kind of um, they know what words you're using, but do you actually understand the underlying meaning? And like you're trying to invoke an emotion, but to them it's like, oh, okay, and then they're just off to do something else.
Yeah, it's a lot of intellectualization happening when it comes to love. And they can discuss things about love. They can discuss the topic of love. They can discuss the idea of love. What is love? Is it a feeling? Is it a thought? What is it?
Intellectualizing everything. um but like uh Venus in Gemini, I also feel that there is a sense of they need grounding actually to stop them from emotional fluctuations. There's kind of like, now you love, like it's almost like what's that thing, a rose, and then you just like pluck. He loves me not.
Oh,
He
yeah.
loves me, he loves me not. And then by the time you finish that rose, it's like you don't even know whether he loves me or loves me not. So there will be a kind of like flipping back and forth regarding a person, as long as the relationship is light and fun, and there's actually verbal banters, like like just um, lots of jokes, lots of very cute little jokes, to go along with it. Um, some dirty jokes you might as well want to throw that in as well. And for Venus and Gemini, they actually love it. um, Besides verbal games, right? Um, do allow them to go around the room and say hi to everyone you know if you enter like a social setting, because they're just like the social butterfly of the zodiac. And just know that if they flirt, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because they usually flirt. They would flirt with you.
Flirt, yes, you know, like just be like just say some cute little words and just there's a very teasing quality with Gemini. So they might tease you, get you all hot and bothered, but then it doesn't guarantee anything physical or emotional after that.
Absolutely agree
It
with
just
that.
stops there. It just stops there at the words. And yeah, I mean, I can understand why Venus in Gemini can pose an issue to the other person if that person is not um, is have an inkling of being possessive, because that's not what this is about. It's really about fun, the preliminary, you know, back and forth words and trying to build rapport. And what else do I have?
And would you think that Venus conjunct Mercury, for example, would be kind of the same expression? Or because they are so close, they're personal planets, it really depends on the sign?
It can, but I think that Venus conjunct Mercury, it depends what sign. Then the sign
Yeah,
will actually color that a little. Like I wouldn't think that Venus conjunct Mercury in a let me think what
Scorpio.
sign. Scorpio, ooh. Would be going around flirting
No.
as much, you know what I mean? Like, but you know what? Later when we get to Scorpio, like because Scorpio is also Mars root
Yeah.
besides Aries, but Scorpio does it in a very subtle way. Like instead of just overtly in your face like Aries,
Yeah.
Scorpio
More secretive.
can be kind of, you know, subtle, like, you know, like just arrange your clothes in a bit of a more revealing way, maybe, you know, but in a very like subtle, maybe just one button down more, but doing a discreet way, but then I just kind of like, oh, you know, like just kind of stand just waiting for the other person to notice them rather than just go to the other person be in your face. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when I think about logic and reason, I think about Venus and Gemini because love must make sense to them.
Yeah.
So,
What about the perfect date?
well, I think that Venus and Gemini, right, they're always about curiosity, exploring, and finding out more. So if someone actually come across to them as very unpredictable, that stirs their curiosity, someone who's very versatile as well, and more importantly, someone who keeps them guessing. They don't know what to expect. You really get a Venus and Gemini emotionally engaged and keep their attention.
Maybe they can go to a quiz.
They can go to a quiz or you know what's that thing? Escape room. You know, they give you like
Oh, yeah.
20 clues and then
Yeah.
you just like work together and just kind of, you know, like it's like a puzzle. And then after you get out of the room, I think that will be kind of uh it stimulates the mind to get it moving. And then, you know, in between that, you'll be like, you know, laughing at each other. Like you got this wrong, you know, you know what I mean? Like and I think it'll be quite fun though as a first date. But then since Gemini is a very light sign, right? I wouldn't bet on very deep commitment in that sense. Like if things are no longer fun, if things are no longer like, you know, full of banter, then yeah, their commitment or lack of commitment already can get even lower.
What would you give a Venus in Gemini person? Like a present? What present would you give them?
I will actually give them a diary,
Yeah. Or a book?
particularly. but particularly a woman, because she can actually journal down her thoughts. Because like Gemini rules like writing, right, as one of the things to get all the Venusian energy out. Um, what else? Because Venus in Gemini can also mean, of course, writing a blog.
Writing a blog, or maybe um, a course on, I don't know, a new fun thing
Ah,
that they can learn.
Venus in Gemini, when you text them, always add emojis.
Oh yeah, and text them because they're
Well,
going to text you.
like always add the smiley face. I don't know what emojis are there. Maybe there's 1,000,001. Just make it animated as possible, because Gemini is also about caricature,
Yeah,
like a character. So kind of don't just type only in words. Add some um not only emojis, but maybe some kind of uh like a double meaning joke, double entendre.
yeah. I think that if you tell a Venus in Gemini that you love them, they would, if they want to tell you they love you, and they wouldn't mean much when they say that. They would probably just send you a text with a heart emoji or something. That's all. That's
Well, I mean, it comes from their mind, but it's the lower mind. So it's just like it just it's just valid for that moment. I wouldn't take it too seriously.
yeah.
But in that moment, yes, if she just say that she loves me, okay, I'll just take it and move on. And don't kind of like, do you really love me? Do you really love me? Like
But
don't
you
do
said
that.
you love me.
And then like they are friends with everyone. So you must give them enough space to just let them be with their friends.
Freedom is key there, definitely.
Freedom is key. Don't ever kind of like your mind, just kind of mine and yeah, expect your Venus and Gemini to run away. Just like now, help. How about Venus in Cancer?
Oh, very, very emotional Venus. Um, Now, if we say Venus in Taurus is delicious, I would say that Venus in Cancer is tasty. I would use the word tasty because delicious is more sophisticated, it's more gourmet, it's more exclusive. And Venus in Cancer is homemade food. Venus in Cancer is everything about how your mother cooks. This is very important. And you take it into your love life and you expect, for example, if it's a man, he would expect that um, his wife, because they see their love prospect as wives, not girlfriends, not, I mean, when they love somebody, that's it. And they would imagine they would love it if their wife can cook, especially if it is something closer to the way their mother cooks. Food is very important, home is very important. They love staying at home, spending time at home, but they're very protective of their home. So when you uh, go on a date with the Venus in Cancer, I would imagine that they wouldn't invite you over because they don't know you yet. They need to trust you. They need to feel safe. Security is very key to their understanding of love. If you give them the feeling of emotional support, if you give them the feeling of being taken care of, looked after, thought about, I mean, they really need you to keep them in your mind. They need to know that somebody is thinking about them, somebody is worrying about them, somebody cares about them. So I would think that they are looking in some way for a mother figure, and it doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman. they are looking for somebody who can take care of them, but at the same time they're super caring and they're super comforting. And when you're with the Venus, when you're with a person who has Venus in Cancer, you feel at home, you feel taken care of. But sometimes you can feel like they're smothering you. It's just too much sometimes, too emotional, too clingy, too attached. So I really like this. Um, I like Venus in Cancer, but sometimes it's too much, and they can easily get insulted, I think, and they can take everything very seriously and very deep, and then they will cry for ages, and you are like, well, I just said I don't want to eat your soup. I didn't mean much of it. But they might really get hurt. They are very easily hurt. They're very sensitive. They're very intuitive. They know how you feel before you even felt it. And I think the ultimate, they easily fall in love as well. I think the moment they feel safe, they are so emotionally attached, and that's why sometimes, again, depends on the person, the individual's chart, but they they can be afraid to go into a relationship because they know what happens with them. They go into a relationship and that's it for them. This is the person and that's the life they're going to lead from then on. So it can be quite overwhelming for them. Love is something super important. Love is life, and they can be afraid to go into a relationship, not to get hurt, basically, because they know that they let the partner into their home, into their soul. And it's it's interesting to be in a relationship with a Venus in Cancer. I
Well,
think the best way to impress them is to maybe send them a lunchbox at work with something homemade, even if it's a sandwich. They would love it. And they're very sentimental. They like keeping little, I don't know, things, even if it's, I don't know, a pen that you have touched for the first time when you met. They would keep it as
well, the
something that they
thing
can
is
use.
that with Cancer, right? Like we all know that Cancer, like when we talk about Cancer as a sign, it's nurturing, motherly, family, all that. But when I actually dig a bit deeper into what the archetype like Cancerian sign is about, they're actually the most neglected sign. They are also the most like, so when you talk about neglected children, adopted children, I think of Cancer the most. And when someone has got Venus in Cancer, um, they come out to this world feeling not so secure. Like there's always like a feeling that need to be supported, hugged. They love hugs. If you hug a Venus in Cancer, they hug you back, and they
I
like to
love
be
the way
touched.
they hug. These are the best huggers in the world. I mean, this is amazing. You're like on cloud nine, and the cloud nine has actually hugged you.
Well, but then I think I also have like actual cases. I've got quite a number of friends who got Venus in Cancer, and because Venus is in a sign of the moon, and moon just kind of like it changes very fast. Like it goes
Yeah.
from new moon to full moon very fast. Their feelings towards relationships can go like that as well, like just like the moon, very like vacillating. It can go back and forth, and there's a certain ambivalence and evasiveness that goes along with it. And quite a number of my Venus in Cancer friends, they have gotten into messy, like triangular relationships as well. It's
Because
almost
of
like
insecurity.
they have not defined what they need for love, and they kind of just like it just became messy after that. Yeah. But having said that, Venus in Cancer are very sensual as well. And if I were to sum them up right, they are sweet in the streets and freak in the sheets.
I like that.
They can
I
be
like
very
that.
sweet, yeah. But also they can be freaks as well in the bedroom. So um,
I mean,
uh,
Cancer is a cardinal sign, so yeah,
it
definitely.
is, it is. And once you feel, and once they feel that that instant clicking of like, okay, I feel safe with this person. I won't be feeling rejected, because rejection is also a very very important thing for them, to know that they are accepted, they're not rejected. And once they actually feel that, they can actually pour out, like Cancer, right? Pour out all their like Venusian energies to you. They got a lot of love to give. As you say, very sentimental. But then like, if they actually undergo a breakup, it might take them really much longer than other signs to recover and move on.
Yeah, and I think they're quite, I mean, they can be dominating, emotionally dominating. They can try to control you so you can stay home. They don't like you to be going out too much. They definitely prefer you to stay at home and be with them. And also, um, I think men with Venus in Cancer, they like women that are curvy. That they
With big breasts,
Yes,
like a
milk,
nursing mom.
milk would be something that they would enjoy.
But you know, when you talk about Venus in Cancer men, right? What comes to my mind is like, um, do you have um, motorcycle bike gangs in Bulgaria
Yeah,
with a lot of tattoos?
yeah.
Ask most of them, ask most of the guys in that group whether they got Venus in Cancer. The reason I ask that is because it's like Cancer wants to protect itself with a hard shell.
Okay.
And inside they are like so soft and tender. They almost like gotta put an armor on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's again because they're so scared not to be hurt that they can act really tough. They can act as if they're not letting you in.
Yeah. Why I say that is because there's actually like a local Harley Davidson motorbike gang, and last time they used to come near to my place is just like around here, and I sometimes will see like a whole line of them along the road, and I was just on my way to somewhere else, and I just like a few of them parked beside the street, and I asked them, "Oh, um, can I have your birth details if you don't mind?" And guess what? 4 out of 5 have Venus in Cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, and most of them are like heavily tattooed and all that, because it's like they don't want to be seen as vulnerable. They don't want to be seen as weak. They don't want to be. They just want to act strong, honestly, to prevent others from seeing like the softer side of them. That's in need of feeding and caring, and so they put on this armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once you get to know them, they're the biggest softies as well. So what you see is not what you get in the end with Cancer. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can best understand their character when they're at home. I mean, when you go to their place, then you understand who they are. When you make them feel safe, then you understand who they are.
Mm, yeah. I mean, cook them a good meal. They probably tell you everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like the old saying, what the way to a man's heart is through the stomach, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that applies for cancer. Um, yeah,
We're going to,
self-protection. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Venus in Leo. Hmm. When I think of Leo, I think of the lion mane. I think of the hair.
yes,
I
they're
think of
definitely impressive.
I think of the big hair ladies that kind of do their hair even bigger. More is more, kind of. And drama comes to mind. So the way they express their fashion, their love, their affection is always very dramatic, and they crave a lot of excitement as well, and a lot of like grand displays of affection.
Yes.
But
Public.
it carries with them, they carry with them a tremendous pride as well. Um, Extremely generous, because Leo is quite a generous sign. But then, as with actually the rest of the fire signs included, there can be kind of like an insensitivity that comes along with it, like, oh, I'm gonna feel what I feel, like to hell with you, kind of, kind of quality. And Leo is actually the one that need the most approval from other people. So when they actually, or you have a Venus in Leo partner with you, I think the best thing to kind of reaffirm that you love them is to say, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and every time I see a person who is in a relationship with somebody with Venus in Leo, I tell them you have to make this person feel like the king or the queen. They have to be admired, they have to be applauded. They just have to be told constantly and loudly that they're loved and amazing.
Always flatter them. A flattery doesn't cost any money from your mouth, but it costs like $1 million to them.
Yeah.
Um, how about women with Venus in Leo though? Like when I think about women who have that placement, right? I mean, not only they do their hair super big, but or the hair is the focus of things, but then there's like a prima donna quality with them.
Yeah. And the fashion style is also very extravagant and loud.
And
They have big hats.
more is more.
Yes.
More is more. That's why it's so and also since Leo rules their core sense of identity, when you're in a relationship with them, that relationship ties in with their core identity. They identify so much of themselves with that relationship. So if anything is out of balance or go south, they actually take it really personal, and they, it can really hurt them um, on deep levels that you may not even think of.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that when they equalize themselves with the relationship, and when they don't
Mm.
like something about it, they just think that they are it's their fault, or they really get hurt. And the other thing that really gets them hurt is not paying them attention when they are screaming for attention.
What is there a a Facebook status called, like, I died because from a lack of attention?
Yeah.
That would be for like Venus and Leo. Uh, Um, for Venus in Leo man, right? I find that because Leo is a very, they love to flaunt, they love to show off. And so if they have a girlfriend, they are looking for a girlfriend that they can show off in front of everyone. You know.
Yes, trophy wife, trophy. They like the trophy part of things. Their partner should be somebody important, somebody, I don't know,
I would
known for
also
something
I would also
famous.
think that like a sugar daddy and baby like relationship as well with that. Like you show off like a hot younger female that you can flaunt around and say that, you know, hey, you know, like
Yeah.
when I think of Venus Leo, I think of that as well. And what else do I have for Venus and Leo? Respect comes very respect becomes very important in a relationship. If there's any display of like you don't show me respect, I'm gone.
Absolutely, yeah. Because they are very respectful, and they would treat you like a queen or a king, and they would show you their attention and respect when they love you. So this is something really, really important in their love life.
Mm, but on the downside, right, I actually like just written down something. They can actually become manipulative of others
Oh
just to
yeah.
get praise, and because Leo wants to get the upper hand of things to be also in control of things. So if manipulation is their way to get there, they actually will do it.
Yeah, and when you think about it, I mean, Cancer has to do with children, Leo has to do with children, Aries has to do with young and new, Gemini as well.
That
So all these signs, I think they can, in their lower vibration or in their sometimes their fits, they can just act like children and throw tantrums for just for the attention.
and love can be a one-way street with children.
Yes, they think they're the center of the world. They truly believe that.
Right. Why not we move into the modest sign of Virgo?
Yeah, I find this the hardest sign to explain, to understand as well. One thing is for sure, Venus in Virgo is very picky. They're very neat, they're very elegant, they're very clean in any way that you can think of. Uh, but they are also very picky, and they are looking for the perfect love. I mean, Virgo is perfectionism, and when you have Venus there, you need everything to be immaculate for in the relationship and in the partner. Or you are looking for a partner who is eager to listen to you so you can make them perfect. So whoever has Venus in Virgo, they are constantly working towards making love better, making the partner better, making themselves better as well. I mean, they are also very critical of themselves. So you would find that Venus in Virgo is very caring. They're really trying their best to help you, to serve you, to and this is how they would show love. They would do a favor for you. They would run an errand for you. They would do that. Um, they would tidy up your wardrobe if you want, and this is how they would show you their love. From the earth signs, I think Virgo is the least impressed with material presents, even though it is important, but still they prefer to show love rather than mm,
You know what?
They
What will make a Venus in Virgo cry?
what?
It's not about the
They're
present itself. It can be the cheapest present if that present is actually what that person needs, or very,
yes,
very carefully
something
thought. It's the
practical.
thought that
Mhm.
counts. Yeah.
Yeah, something practical. If they've been, I don't know, if yeah, you're right. They need something practical in their life, and they also give you the practicality, and they can follow a certain regime. They also like somebody who is taking care of their health. Um, you would impress them if you are eating healthily, if you are doing some sort of sports, and if you're taking a shower every day. That would be impressive. So this is the way to impress Venus in Virgo. Make sure you are well dressed. Your shirt is bright white, ironed, and you don't go out in your pajamas or in your tracksuit or anything like that. Be I think hardworking people are people that Venus in Virgo respects because they're quite good at what they do. When they start doing something, they're into the detail and making it perfect. So um, this would be this would be something you can impress Venus in Virgo with: hard work
When I think
and being.
about Venus in Virgo, right, it's all about contributing an impact that's therapeutic to the relationship. So, be it doing your sheets, make sure they're neat.
Yeah.
Make getting you that ointment when you're sick.
Yes, they're the nurse.
You're the nurse. But also,
Dress up like a nurse.
I have a funny story though. Like I do know of a few Venus and Virgo female friends, by the way, all female. They have, I think, three of them. They all have this thing because Virgo is a very narrow sign, and so the way they define relationships and love and affection and all those Venusian things in a very narrow way. So their experience is very narrow, naturally. Um, when I talk to them, right, hey, like, how are you? How's your love life, whatever? Oh, I've only slept with this many people. It's almost like they exaggerate themselves to be a whore or promiscuous, you know, in the past. Oh, but now I'm no longer doing it. I'm clean. It's 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 almost like the past is always dirty, and now I'm a virgin again. And then I'll be like, okay. it's almost like they're making it's almost like they're making up for some there's like an ego thing they need to satisfy with Venus and Virgo, because it's like they know that they don't have much experience, or they are they don't go around experimenting everything, but they want to talk about it. So
Yes.
sometimes when I know someone has got a Venus in Virgo, right, and they talk like, as if they've got like, I don't know, how many partners and how many this and that, I would usually like, divide that number by I don't know how many. And I usually not buy what they're selling. But having said that, um, I think we mentioned earlier that, they can be easily moved to tears if you just demonstrate like a display of affection that they least expected, because I think they're so harsh on themselves, they're so self-critical that um, it's almost like there's this inner dialogue within them. They don't deserve any displays towards them affection-wise. So if they
Yeah.
actually receive them, they will suddenly just kind of lose it. They'll just lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they are lots similar. They're very similar to Venus in Cancer, but in a more mental way, more like they're thinking about things because they are ruled by Mercury. So even though it's an Earth sign, there is a lot of mental energy in the Virgos, and they keep thinking about things, but they're as hurtful as Cancers, and they're as sensitive and caring as, I would say, as Venus in Cancer.
It's almost like they're doubting their attractiveness and self-worth
Yes,
a
they think
lot.
that they're never enough. They think that they're never good enough, which is quite hard to live with. So this stresses them out a lot, and this is how I've noticed a lot of people um, who have Venus in Virgo are struggling with relationships just because nothing is ever good enough. It's either themselves or the partner or the situation or the timing, or something is always missing. Something is always missing for them.
So what do you say to someone who's like received like criticisms from Venus and Virgo? Oh, I know you love me. Is it? Oh, because I can improve on it, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I I don't know, to be honest. It's really, for me, Venus in Virgo is one of the hardest things to explain and to understand, and it's just because my it's funny because my Virgo is locked in intercepted in my seventh house of relationships, so I attract a lot of people that have strong Virgo in their chart, and I just get confused. I don't know what to do.
Well, I think if well, I guess that what I can say about Venus in Virgo, particularly the man, is like besides wanting the woman to be like intelligent, kind of dry humor,
Yeah.
um, love what she does, and keep improving herself. Yeah, always go for improvement, be it courses or improving her looks. Or um, there are two very famous Venus in Virgo people. I think it's Kim Kardashian
Oh wow.
and also Kylie Jenner. They both have like Venus in Virgo, but well, they choose to enhance themselves through plastic surgery.
Yeah, this is when things go over the top.
Yeah, I know,
I
but
mean,
this is the side effect. Yeah.
With Venus in Virgo, you can either look really well put together, or you can go either on top of, I mean, too much of trying to improve yourself, or just feel the pressure from all this criticism that's going on in your head and just leave your body to live a different separate life, and for example not look very healthy or very clean, or there are a lot of people who don't take care of themselves and become overweight, for example, or there's mess around them just because of the heaviness of this criticism that's always constantly going on in their heads.
I think the best thing you can give knowing that someone has got Venus in Virgo, right? If they come and meet you, you just say like, "Oh, your outfit looks very nice. It must have taken a long time for you to get ready for this," and they'll probably love you for it because they'll make it look like effortless. But then
Yeah.
you can jolly well know that they probably planned their outfit 1 week ago or something.
I I always joke about presents when it comes to Venus in Virgo, because there's a toothpaste that is full of heart shapes, and I think this is the perfect gift.
Actually, yeah. I mean, why not? I think that's kind of cute as well. I think, well, Venus in Virgo will be more than happy to receive that gift because some thought has been put into it to actually choose that gift. It's not just some, I don't know, last minute.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Venus in
especially,
Virgo will tell you if your gift is a last minute gift in your face.
yes, and they would say it out loud,
Yeah.
and they won't put up with that.
Okay. Venus in Libra. Venus in Libra is in its sign, but this time it's a celestial sign. It's an air sign. It's not like a very earth sign like Taurus. So the idea of love is back again. But this time there's a lot of idealisms how relationships should be, that give and take should be equal, that back and forth uh, should be there, according to them, according to their standards. What standards? Reachable standards? I'm not sure. But having said that, they are quite sympathetic and respectful. They usually bring like a sense of harmony and peace into it, maybe too much at the expense of going through fights. Venus and Libra will be like, okay, and they'll be like, just let it slide. And that can actually be detrimental to building intimate relationships, I find, because sometimes you do need to fight to sort out differences. And if everything is so easy peasy or politically correct, in this case, what's there to grow in the relationship? I know they're very heavy on aesthetics because Libra, it is the sign of symmetry. So they do visually have someone who's very pleasant looking, symmetrical features if possible, graceful as well, very tolerant. So I know a few Venus in Libra men, and when they tell me all their requirements of the woman that they want to marry, I was like, well, you have to go to some other country. Because not here you don't get that, at least. So conservative as well, because Saturn is exalted in this sign, and they can take a long time to make up their mind regarding you before they kind of make it official with you. Venus in Libra women will have a lot of beauty and grace to go along with them. But then they kind of fall into a trap of just feeling like, how do I put it? It's like they become an object in a relationship. That's what I've gotten when I talk with some of my friends who got Venus in Libra who are female.
Yeah, I think they tend to lose their identity in the relationship. Sometimes they can be prone to that. They can just do everything for the other person and not take care of themselves or say what they want in that relationship, just because they're really trying not to get into conflict, as you mentioned. But everything there is very elegant, everything is very diplomatic, and sometimes they can be very manipulative, I think. Very elegantly manipulative. They get what they want.
Well, I
And
think they just, because of the balance, right, they play both sides of the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if everything is calm, they would stir it up. just for the sake of balance and fairness.
What else can I say about Venus in Libra?
They like communication, they like sharing, they like gossiping, I think.
One thing I can't get from Venus in Libra is depth. It's
Yeah,
almost like they're very good at skimming at the surface, but hey, I was like, I want to know maybe, well, I won't say my Venus sign. You have to guess below in the comment section. Like, I require more depth, and I can't get it from Venus in Libra. There's almost like this kind of um the introduction book to Venus.
yeah,
The kind of feeling, you know, like I can't get or the it's I wouldn't want to dismiss them as superficial, but it's like I know they're so visually, aesthetically um, fixated on certain things regarding the outer appearance of a person that it can lead to bad choices along the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And where would they feel best on a first date? At
Venus
some
in Libra, go shopping.
shopping, yeah, or maybe ask them out to be your plus one on a wedding or some social party. And you can also give them makeup for present. Makeup, I think, and anything that has to do with aesthetics and beauty.
Yeah, but what if someone is asking a Venus in Libra guy to go out?
Venus in Libra guy. That's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. I actually thought about that. I couldn't come up with anything. Like it's almost like whatever that they want, they have.
Yeah, I mean, I think for them to have a date is something that's good enough. And as long as you're going out with them to a place that's sophisticated, because I think they're quite sophisticated, um, they would be happy. Some fashion bar with the, like nice cocktails presented beautifully. Or
Well, since we're talking about air sign, right? Air sign naturally there's a nervousness regarding it. So I know Libra can be quite a highly strung or like a highly strung sign because they're always trying to balance both sides. So maybe something relaxing. I don't know.
yeah, I think they would enjoy.
A walk
I
in the
think
park.
eh, probably not. Probably not. Maybe more of a. I think a Venus in Gemini would like to walk in the park or run in the park.
Mm, okay.
Well, if you have any ideas what to give or where to invite a guy with Venus in Libra, just give us your suggestions because it looks like we're stuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's like seems that they have everything. But hey, let's move on to Scorpio then.
Scorpio, yeah, from the lightness of Libra, we're going deep into uh, the scorpionic power and intensity and dramatism. Venus in Scorpio is very intensive, very emotional, very dark, very sexy, very magnetic, very mystical, mm, And yes, I have to say very in front of every word because it's a lot of it when it comes to Scorpio. Uh, they're very they're very obsessive sometimes. But it's easy to get attracted to Venus in Scorpio because of this intensity, because of this sexuality, because of the um, mysteriousness and the power that they somehow radiate. And it feels like maybe you are just going into a dark room and you don't know what's in there. And it's scary, but it's curious. And they can be quite dominant, they can be quite jealous. That's the lower vibrations of Scorpio. And I think they're very loyal, but they can be also very secretive. So if Venus in Scorpio is cheating on you, I don't think you would ever know. They are very they're very deep, and they know how to manipulate people. They usually don't go out thinking, okay, I'm going to manipulate everybody and I just want to be cheating and destroying the world of everybody. But if you're not loyal, or if you're not deep enough, or if you're not giving them their soul, basically, actually your soul to them, they won't feel that they can trust you, and they won't feel that you're worth their attention and their love and their effort and time. So they would slowly move away from the relationship. But it is very hard for them to end relationships because they get so attached, they invest so much emotions, and they invest their soul into a relationship. And this is why they wouldn't just leave you, but this is why they would start cheating, and this is why they would start doing things behind your back, or they would start I don't know, controlling you and checking your phone or being jealous, or things like that that are not very balanced. And there's also the part where Venus in Scorpio is, I think their love can cure, their love can heal you, their love can get into the deepest wounds that you have. And if you let the Venus in Scorpio in, and if you let them heal you, I think it would be life changing. And there's a lot of intensity. I mean, this is a sign that can really get on your nerves because it's too much of an emotion. They can drown into emotions. So Venus in Scorpio, you have to be very truthful and serious, and you have to be ready to talk psychology, you have to be ready to talk sex, you have to be ready to have sex. This is one part that is super important. And don't get me wrong, I mean, Scorpio is always known for sex, but I think people with a lot of Scorpio energy or Venus in Scorpio, they can stay on a, like, what, dry spell, if I can say, for a long time. They can go without sex. But when they have a partner, this is one thing that is important for them, and this is one thing that um, they have in their head as part of the, like, there's a list of things that they need in a relationship, and this is probably number one or two. It's on top of the list.
Or is it just that Venus and Scorpio just and it's just like fascinated with the power of sexual energy, the transformational potential of sexual energy. It's almost like tantra to them.
Yeah.
So like, um, I know of a couple who's got Venus and Scorpio going for like couples yoga, but is trying to build up tantra. It's quite transformative. I mean, it's in the higher octave. Because when I think about Venus and Scorpio, right, it's about finding that spiritually aligned partner.
Yeah, and also they are looking for a partner who is not afraid to to show their weakness and is not afraid to show their emotions, because for Venus in Scorpio, they need to go deep inside you. They need to know everything about you. They need to know your dirtiest secrets. They need to know your scariest thoughts. They need to know what you're afraid of. And not many people like telling all this information to somebody. So it is quite interesting, because I think with Venus in Scorpio, you can go into a relationship, and the person with Venus in Scorpio is always interested, because I think they can always find more, and they can find a deeper layer in the emotions and in the person that they're with. But the other person, if they don't have any Venus that, or any like scorpionic highlighted energy in their chart, they might find it intrusive and they might find it overwhelming.
Well, I've got a few guy friends who got Venus and Scorpio, and every time I go out with them, right, I can literally see their eyes. They are like X-ray or scanning women on the streets, but they remain cool and low key and secretive and mysterious when they do that. They'll be like, walking, and their eyes will be like this, like leering in a way, but they're checking out people, like scanning people up and down. And I think that guy was still single, and quite a attractive girl actually came up to him and said hi, and he just lost his cool. It's like all the buried Martian energy of Scorpio just kind of erupted. Do you have anything to add? Yeah, do you have anything to add?
I couldn't hear half of what you said, and I hope that.
Oh, it's captured. Yeah, I was like, just, or maybe we can just cut. You can help me cut this part out. I was just.
I think if it's only on my side, maybe the video will be okay. I mean, what you've said is probably recorded on your side. I don't know. I was trying to see what will happen and if you're going to come back.
No, it's just that, like, Scorpio is Mars ruled and Aries is Mars ruled. But in Aries is like in your face, but in Scorpio, right, it's very subtle, and it's very like trying to be discreet.
Yeah, and when they decide that they want somebody, nothing is going to stop them, but they will be slowly getting to the person. There won't be, as you said, in your face like Aries would do. They would
I was just sharing that like, I've got a few guy friends who got Venus and Scorpio, and they'll be like walking on the street and their eyes will be like, leering, like focusing. Who because they're so focused, who they're looking at. And if that girl that they are leering at came and say hi, they will lose their cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to stay cool, but if they get validation, then the Venus and Scorpio just like go all crazy.
I think they also, when they're looking for a partner, the prospect of a partner is I mean, they're looking for a long-term relationship usually. I don't think they have the energy to just keep on changing partners, because it takes so much emotion from them and so much investment. And it's funny because Scorpio is known for the need to change, transform. Like transformation is a keyword for Scorpio, but Scorpionic people are really hard to change. I mean, when they decide something, they just say, okay, that's it, and there's nobody who can change their mind. And the key to change is only in and always in themselves. If they decide to act on it, they can change the whole world. But usually they get stuck in their dark emotions. So with Venus, with Venus in Scorpio can be the same. They're very hard to change in a relationship, or they might be making you as a partner change, and insisting on that constantly, but then they're not very eager to do anything themselves.
Well, I
Quite
think if you
scary.
can transmute the lower vibration of like the undercurrent to dominate the partner, and um, focus that scorpionic energy into like a psychological growth. Um, because Scorpio actually rules the Kundalini.
Yeah,
So if you can transmute the Kundalini, yeah, there's so much more understanding of what Venus energy will be like for
absolutely. Yeah.
you. Yeah, it could be
That's
you're using the energy to maybe start a business with a partner.
absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things you can do with the Venus in Scorpio in a partnership. I think the energy of spiritual growth and even materialistic growth is huge,
Yeah.
as long as you try to higher the vibration of that sign, because it can be overwhelming, but it is full of potential, and the key is to work on it. And take when you want to take a Venus in Scorpio to a date, take them to the psychology office, to the psychotherapist, so you can start a couples therapy before you actually start the relationship.
You know what would be the best place for Venus and Scorpio to go dating? Halloween.
Yeah, they like dressing up, so
Right. Well, you can dress up as anything and transform, right? So, uh, Venus and Scorpio, where to go for first date? Hmm. I
have
can't think of.
we have a restaurant here in Bulgaria that is fully dark. I mean, you go in there and you don't see anything. I think that would be a great place. I think they would love it, to go to a dark dinner. Because Scorpio is the opposite of Taurus. Scorpio loves food as well, and they can be quite greedy sometimes. So I think they would appreciate
You
nice
know
food
what?
place.
Actually, I think antique stores will be nice because it'll be a treasure hunt.
Hmm, could be. I would say Venus in Capricorn would appreciate the antiques better than Scorpio, even though Capricorn and Scorpio can be quite the same.
Yeah, yeah. Like they're looking for something that's of ultimate value, like,
Yeah.
coming from different, different angles. Let's move on to the brighter side of life.
Yeah.
Sagittarius.
Let's have
Um,
some fun.
the very last fire sign. And when I think about Venus and Sagittarius, they want to be heard. They want to be noticed. And a killer sense of humor is a must because they always love to be entertained. So very open-minded as well. So you just tell like, just keep the jokes rolling. They'll be like, you know, laughing at it. Um, but having said that, right, do note that Sagittarius might be a bit blunt.
Yes, they can be.
And do expect some probing questions as well because they want to know you, because what they value is also honesty, but in a more open way, you know. Not as possessive as like a scorpionic way like we discussed, but it's like, hey, you know, tell me more about you, and um, potentially asking you some challenging and teasing questions as well.
Yeah, and I think that for them experiencing life is important. They need their partner to have experienced a lot of things.
Love is like an adventure game for them. Yeah. So in terms of Venus and Sagittarius, they attract like explorers, nomads, um, or anyone honestly that can match up with them on a philosophical and uh, ideological level. So if you come across a Venus in Sag person, you might be first of all, you need to be lighthearted. You can't be too serious with Sag. You need, because Venus in Sagittarius, what they're looking for ultimately is a pal, you know, a light-hearted pal to bond with. So, and it's a very bohemian sign.
Yeah.
They would love to hear all about your travel stories. They would love to hear about all your because they themselves probably watch a lot of Discovery Channel.
And they probably travel a lot as well.
They
Or at
probably
least they
travel a
want
lot
to.
as well. So, in that sense, I think just prove yourself as a decent person. I think you'll be welcome.
Yeah, and I think also you have to be somehow different because Sagittarius is the sign of multicultural diversity, and they usually like partners who are from another country or another religion or something different about them anyway. So it's all about traveling of the mind and the physical body as well. They would love to find somebody who can travel the world with them.
And also, like, if you can prove yourself to be someone who's like, be it like a religious aspiration or like an inspiration, or there's
Inspiration.
like a moral code of, you have a like a shared moral, ethical principle, because Sagittarius is about principle. And if you can agree with that, then you're good to go. You know, and don't forget that twinkle in your eye, and also a memorable laughter. Yeah, because they love to laugh.
They love
Yeah.
to laugh, and they usually laugh loud, and they like to be in the center of attention, and they also like people, I mean, they like their partners to be the center of attention, to be famous, um, interesting, to be interesting and
Uh,
educated as well. Educated is, I think, education is very important too. Um, not not like the school, but more of the cool of life, maybe. And again, we go back to the experiences that are important and the wisdom that they have taken from all of that experience.
Do you think it's easy to earn a praise and flattery from a Venus in Sag person? Or you have to earn it?
I think it's easy because I think they like paying attention to people, and I think they like making people laugh. So, yeah, I think it would be easy. They're always very positive, and they will always find something nice to tell you.
So light-hearted banter, yeah, back and forth. I think they'll be the right way to go.
Yeah.
So how about first date though? Like Venus and Sag person.
I don't know, to some festival. Go to a festival.
Oh, a festival that you can try foods from all over the world, or
Yeah, yeah.
I think they'll be nice.
Yeah, or to again, something international, something diverse, something different.
A theater maybe?
Theater, no, I
Not so
think
much.
no. I think they'll be bored with theater. Uh, to the zoo.
Zoo, okay. How about Discovery Channel, right? Yeah, or Animal Planet Showcase. Uh,
I think there are two types of Sagittarians in general. I mean, this energy is either the gypsy one that's very
Bohemian, yeah.
yeah, bohemian, but no, I think the bohemian part is different because it's more on the luxurious end. For example, you can take a Venus in Sagittarius to a whiskey bar where there's expensive different whiskeys, and you can drink and you can smoke cigars. I think this is more towards the luxurious vibe of Sagittarius. Or you can go to, I don't know what you said, some international festival that people from all over the world are sleeping in tents and sharing food. This is the other Sagittarian energy or character, I think.
Yeah,
This is how
because
I
when I
see
think
it.
of Venus in Sag, right, they have such a diverse portfolio of like dates. If you ask them which nationality have you dated, they probably can tell you United Colors of Benetton. Yeah. What happened to that brand? I'm not sure. Um, but then the word polyamory came up though with Venus and Sag.
Oh
Because
yeah.
love is all around. Love is all around. I think I've not done polyamory.
They're not famous for their dedication, but they can be. I mean, if you are interesting, if you are eager to travel, if you make them laugh, if you are open to new ideas and growth, because it's a Jupiterian sign, you have to grow. I think they would be happy to stay with you.
Yeah. Jupiter is also that promise, right? So if you can give that promise of like a brighter, longer adventure to unravel.
Yeah. You said it perfectly. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. And also
Okay.
there's always the optimism and the I forgot my thoughts.
How about we move on to Capricorn then?
Okay. Let's do that.
Venus and Capricorn. Yeah.
Venus in Capricorn. We're talking business here. Venus in Capricorn is very practical again. Very. It has a lot of requirements. There's a list of things that you have to check before you accept a first date. And they usually are people who cherish money and hard work. They are looking, by the way, they can tend to date older partners, or when they get older, they tend to date younger partners. There always has to be some kind of difference, age difference, and the Saturnian age difference is about 7 years. So somebody either 7 years older or younger than them is what usually happens. Of course, it depends on where Saturn is in the chart, but yeah, it's very serious. I mean, Venus in Capricorn is very serious. There is that feel of insecurity, I think. There is always, and it comes from the opposite side, from Venus in Cancer. And also this nagging voice that you're never good enough. And this reminds me of Venus in Virgo as well, but I think Venus in Capricorn asks for even more and wants things that are not perfect but more perfect. It's never, nothing is ever good enough there, and this can be quite exhausting again. And they can also find better partnerships, find themselves in better partnerships as they age. With age, things get better for them because they have found their true value and they know what they want, exactly what they want. And they would also be, I don't know, they would be calmer, and they would be, I think they would find it easier to accept people the way they are, if they have grown to understand that they are beautiful with both their faults and their achievements, and their achievements are super, like, super good. I mean, they always try to do their best and to be with the best partner as well. But when they have a partner, what they want is someone with a career. What they want is somebody who makes good money, and they want stability. They, I mean, they can be workaholics, so you might not see them much at home, but this is you can always talk business with Venus in Capricorn and they will appreciate it, but you have to have proof that your ideas are practical and achievable. They need logic and they need business plan. When you're talking about something, you can't be just talking about anything. You have to have proof and you have to have documents. And this is something that you would impress them with, that you have a plan, and you better have a plan for the next few years, not just for this month. So they want to see in the future. They want to set their future on a schedule, if I may say.
It's almost like Venus in Capricorn, because Capricorn to me is like a legacy building sign.
Okay.
So Venus and Capricorn wants to build a legacy together from the ground up. You know, so they treat love in a very cautious, very like almost too careful, like because it's Saturn ruled. But what I find interesting is that besides Venus and Scorpio, as you said, they can go for some period to become celibate. I think Venus in Capricorn is another sign as well. They can be celibate for quite a while. But having said that, I find that when it comes to display of affection from a Venus point of view, Venus in Capricorn doesn't doesn't display their affection like in public because um, it's too important for them, you know. But of course, when the doors are shut, yeah, your hands can go all over me. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta be prim and proper in the streets, but then like it's like cancer, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same, and it's
Yeah.
a lot about what will people say. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to. The public is watching us. They expect us to do this and that and to be such and such couple. So behave yourself and be serious about it.
So besides a antique store on a first date, I don't know. Um, a professional networking event, maybe you can bring a Venus in Capricorn.
Yeah. Uh, you can also buy them a watch.
Ah, okay. Tell them the time. But also, you can meet someone with Venus in Capricorn can meet their love in the office.
Yeah, they can be their boss.
Scandalous. Anyways, what else though? Oh, because it's Saturn ruled that there is always this inadequacy about their worth.
Yeah.
With that, let's jump to Venus and Aquarius, the next Saturn ruled sign as well.
Yes. Very idealistic, like
Very
that.
idealistic, experimental.
Mental in all ways.
Well, but the thing is that, like, when I look at Venus in Aquarius, right? Why is it that they are so freedom and space giving to the partner up to a point whereby the partner don't even know if like they're in a relationship at some point? I think it's because of that Saturn co-rulership of Aquarius, um, that fear of rejection. Just like Venus in Capricorn, like what we just discussed, is also Saturn rule, and that's where the fear comes. And where that fear comes is like, okay, like just kind of distance yourself away from the relationship to kind of, because there's always this inner voice that's like, what if, there's always a worrying tendency, in a relationship, like what if, and they just kind of go into um that phase of uh wanting to be alone, to ponder what ifs in their lives, which sometimes can drive people crazy. But then with Venus in Aquarius, they have their friends to it's like the lover is also a friend,
Yeah.
but then if the lover is also a platonic friend, what makes someone a lover then? That's what really intrigues me.
It's I think that they are really, sometimes they can get lost in their heads about love. They're very philosophical about it, and they they love freedom, they love their freedom, but this also shows how they are, I mean, this is one of the signs who is afraid to go into relationships because they feel like they will get lost into the relationship and their identity will be um, merged with somebody else's, and they feel like they'll be trapped. So it is super important for Venus in Aquarius to be um, allowed to be led to do whatever they want, especially when it comes to their friends. Yes, their friends are probably most important. They're most important, and then the partner. And they like surprises. They like to be surprised. and they like, I think you can take them somewhere where there are a lot of gadgets because they're very technical, very futuristic. And they can also, you can take them to see firework display. I think they would love that as well.
Or just go on a group date where there's like other people to talk to.
Yeah. Do you think speed dating is an Aquarian thing or a Gemini thing?
I would think like Tinder would be like Gemini, Aquarium would be speed dating, like in person, you know, go round and round and just kind of like, okay, tell me like 5 things about yourself, like in person, because like I go back to that Saturn co-rulership of Aquarius, you
Yeah.
know, they still want something that's like really physical in front of you, you know, but then there's the excitement of like, oh, you know, like I met all these people, like all these people. And even if those people that I talk to don't end up as like someone I want to see again, at least I've got this many friends. That will be like a Venus in Aquarius to me.
Yeah.
And there's a yeah, I mean with the other air signs as well, like Aquarius included, there's like a flirtation and playfulness. But also, what do I have? Oh, if you just happen to be like, the more unusual your interest is, or the more unconventional like stories you have to tell a Venus in Aquarius, you probably get their attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And also they the intellectuality of a partner is super important. I mean the intellect, and they usually are very quirky, I would say.
I think
uh,
it's like people question whether Venus and Aquarius are actually loyal. I would say yes, they don't mind being exclusive,
yeah, I
but
would
keep
agree.
things interesting. I think
I
that's
would
the
agree.
uphill battle.
And give them freedom, because the moment they feel that they're not allowed something, they will do it. And that's just their stubbornness, because it's a fixed sign, so you can't just tell them what to do. They hate being ruled, they hate being they're rebels.
And also like Venus and Aquarius, because they like to be excited. They like the excitement to come because of the Uranian influence. The excitement to come just like lightning. I've actually heard stories of Venus and Aquarius women that purposely turn on men when they don't want to, and then and then when the man gets really hot and bothered, then they kind of like, okay,
Goodbye.
you just kind of, what's that word called? Blue ball them, yeah, blue.
By the way, Venus in Aquarius and Venus in Capricorn can be felt really cold. Like
Yeah.
they're not the people who will tell you I love you very often, at least. They're not the people who will be hugging and being like, oh, touchy and feely and emotionally. So if you're getting into a relationship with a person who has Venus in one of these signs, you will need to respect that, and you'll need to understand that
Well, I
you're not getting.
guess I love you will eventually come.
Oh
As
yeah.
with Saturn, it takes time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think with Aquarius as well, it takes a lot of time.
It
And
takes time.
but with Saturn and with Capricorn, with Venus in Capricorn, I think when they tell you I love you, it means that they really do. I mean, take this seriously, because I'm telling you this, and I've been thinking about it, and um
Well,
I've put
thinking
on.
about it, probably more for Aquarius.
Yeah, but Aquarius is more, I think they're like, they would tell you they love you at some point, but it's for now. I mean, things can change.
Well, and do note that Venus and Aquarius are so level-headed in terms of relationships that it's hard to get kind of passion. They're not high on warmth and affection, but
Yeah.
they will always be kind.
Yes, they're very
Yeah,
friendly. They're very
there'll
friendly.
be no shortage on kindness from Venus and Aquarius. How about the last sign then?
Okay, Venus in Pisces, the ultimate love story. It's the fairy tale of the zodiac. It's the, I don't know. This is a very gentle, mm, very romantic, very beautiful love. Almost not real. But it's it's very caring. I mean, people with Venus in Pisces are so caring, so emotional. They would do everything for you, and they would love doing it. I mean, they're so dedicated and so gentle and so empathetic and very kind as well. But it's one of these placements that, together with Aquarius and Sagittarius, I think is very idealistic. It's almost unreal because it's out of this space, it's out of this world. The love that they can imagine and that they can give you is divine. But at the same time, they usually get very, they can, if they don't work on the high vibrations of Pisces, they can get very disappointed because they always think the best of the person that they meet. When they meet somebody and this somebody is very kind to them, they fall in love with them, and then they think this is the love of their life, and then they imagine something about this person that isn't the reality, and they can really get disappointed or hurt, and they somehow get tend to get into relationships that somebody is dependent on the other. There is like codependency, and they really have to be careful with that. Also because they're so good, they're like super sweet people, and usually they can tend to get used and abused even. um uh, this is a very, I think usually people with Venus in Pisces find their perfect love because they're also looking for the perfect love. They're also looking for the prince or the princess. um and if they manage to, when they realize that their partner is not the prince or princess from the fairy tales, if they manage to somehow pretend that and keep this illusion, even though they realize what's the truth and accept the person the way they are, I think this is the key to success.
I mean, Venus in Pisces, although it's exalted, right? If on the lower vibration, it actually you're forming relationships based on um, the core of the relationship is formed on negative feelings, and it's almost like there's a sense of pity
Oh yes.
that goes along with Venus and Pisces, and hence that like you form relationships based on that. And if you're off to a start like that, it usually doesn't end well. And then along the way, you will actually like be in that delusional stage and just kind of like, oh, everything's great, everything's perfect, you know? And one fine day you just wake up, oh, okay, I'm done. Because this person is trashing his life away. What I learned about Venus in Pisces is that they can make 1,000,001 excuses for you if they love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you run out of excuses for yourself, to them, or um, they just discover that you're just trashing your life away, they are more than happy to leave you. And one thing about Venus and Pisces, though, they will be you. Okay, if you're with someone who's got Venus and Pisces, if a Venus and Pisces person says "I love you," note that that's probably the last time they will say that. Yeah, because it's like, like Pisces is that two fishes swimming away. So
Yeah.
it can be like hot and cold. So if they already told you they love you, yeah, just kind of like treat it as that's it. Not that the relationship's finished, but it's like, just that display of affection is kind of, okay, that's it then.
I don't know. I think that a lot of them would say it more than once because they're so about love. They're so about love that I think they sometimes drown into love, into feelings, into um I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're drowning, and sometimes I feel like they're out of space somewhere along Venus in Aquarius.
I mean, we are talking about the last sign of the zodiac that is like, after that is a whole new cycle.
Yeah, so there can be a new
And
one
Pisces,
everywhere.
yeah, I mean, if you think about Venus in Pisces, it's like the phrase God is love come into my mind.
Yeah,
God is love.
absolutely,
And so
absolutely.
it's like, they're almost like seeking this salvation, this redemption of like the Piscean energy in their relationships, but in the midst of human relationships, bringing such big ideals um, into their social and intimate relationships, like, well, on a certain level, other idealistic signs like Aquarius and Sag, it tends to get lost in translation because the other person, unless the other person is just as high-minded as you, or like to talk about all the, like all the, you know, just transcendent things, like Pisces, sooner or later, the whole relationship will be kind of messy.
Messy is a word that definitely can describe anything uh, in Pisces.
Yeah. Like, okay, what I say earlier is that they'll say I love you like quite quickly for Venus and Pisces,
Yeah,
but
I
don't
know.
expect them to say it to you again for quite some time or ever. That's what I'm trying to say. Because it's almost like that psychic feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah. Once they feel it, they know it, they say it, after that I'm done. They can be that, like, because it's a mutable sign, don't forget, and it can go like, like hot and cold as well. And
yeah.
so you may not have that I love you a second time round.
It's like, I mean, what it comes to my mind is mermaids, but then I think mermaids are more of Capricornish energy because the fishtail of Capricorn and the goat is, and they're trying to kill you. So, but Venus in Pisces is very, I think it's the most inspiring, most feminine, most magical Venus of all. and people can get lost, especially when it's in a woman's chart. I think partners can get lost into dreamland with Venus in Pisces. It's so magical and it's so unreal and beautiful and full of love.
Well, I mean, Pisces is about one of several things, like, like artistic qualities, humanitarian qualities, spiritual qualities. So you can either marry a psychic if you don't mind your secrets to be read, like to be read like that. Or you can marry a yeah. Pisces rules the feet. Just go dancing as a first date. They'll be fine.
Absolutely, yeah. Go
Yeah.
dancing. Nowadays, there like here, I don't know about the rest of the world, but here there are places that became very, very popular where you learn how to paint and you drink wine. So this is so Pisces that it's unbelievable. So I think
Perfect.
that's the perfect thing to do. Go dancing, go painting and drinking wine, go wine tasting as well, even though this is more of a Taurus thing because you just taste it, you don't get drunk.
Well, and also like to just to like put it in perspective, if you're with someone who's got Venus and Pisces, and you don't have a lot of money to spend, try a staycation in a local hotel.
I think Venus in Pisces is not about the money at all. I mean,
Uh,
they would love a gesture. They would love if you take them to see a beautiful view to the city or to the near, I don't know, place where there's water. Some nice view would love that. They would love, or just maybe lie somewhere on top of a mountain and count the stars.
oh,
This is
and probably go to because Pisces rules mystical things, right? So go to a place that's foggy.
yeah.
Go up to the mountains whereby there's a hotel there and there's like fog all around. You know what I mean? Like it could be.
Isolate somewhere.
Well, it
Quarantine
could
yourself.
be. Not an asylum, but asylum is ruled by Pisces, but that's too rough.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
there are aquariums like in Valencia, for example. There is a nice one where you can just go there.
wow. And I think with that, we've covered all 12 signs.
That was an exciting trip around the zodiac with the
Yeah, we
beautifulness
went for a
in
spin, literally. So, where can they find you, Radhi?
well, I am back. I'm back after a short break on Lada's astrolada.com on Lada's page, so they should be able to find my profile, if not today, any moment now. And I hope I see you again, and maybe we can discuss some other astrological part of the universe because it's so much fun. Even though
There's
I think
always a lot to talk about here.
there's always a lot to talk about. We can next time maybe we can talk sex. Maybe we can talk Mars and sex.
Oof. Okay. Well, till then, okay, like, bye to the audience. Well, I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, see you very soon.
Bye, bye.